I'm just going to try and run this out my mic tonight for a bit. I plug that in. Hopefully that doesn't... I can't... Oh, I can zoom. Look at that. If I zoom in... No, that zooms in the middle. I don't know if I want to zoom in. I'll just stay like that for a bit. Or if I can go down a little bit. Go down a little bit. There, that seems a little better. That seems okay. I'm trying to make it so we can read what's on the page without getting too carried away. I got this whole setup going on here. And I need my pencil, I need my glasses. Dance kakyo, pitagwe. We're gonna read some. Gaimita no âhkami-nêhiyawêtân anutska tipskag. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân gisagao. Anutsaya. Anutska gisagag. Anutska tipskag. I guess you could say that other way. This evening. I know Utagosik is evening. Can you say Utagosik? But that's like gisagao is a verb. It is a day gisagao. Tipskao. But Utagosik is like gigsip. I think it's more like a what they call a particle, I think. I don't know if you can like say, if you can say that using ga. If you can, let me know if you know of a way to say that, because I don't know a way to say it that way. Let's read through some of these. I'm on âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, page 108. I just opened to a random page. This is the book here. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I'm zoomed right in, so page 108. I just saw, let's read some words, because that's what I like to do, just read. Read and learn some new vocab. How come I got a shadow over there? What is that? What's making that shadow? Is that just the page? Is that just my eyeball? Oh, that's just the app. I get it. Okay. Okay, let's read. Âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Get my pencil. This is page 108. If you happen to have this book, page 108. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. So I don't know. There's lots of these words I don't know. This one here, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You could say probably âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You could say that I in there. I wonder if I get zoomed in a little bit. Zoom in. If that's hard to read, just let me know and I'll change it. Try and adjust it here. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. That's an animate noun, I guess. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You could say, you could pronounce this âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, but it'll be kind of compressed in there. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Atsio for a little bit, I guess for a short while. Ahasu. Ahasu. So the way I hear this in Treaty 6 around Central Edmonton area-ish, that IW, when you see that, it's going to make it kind of an oo sound. There are some communities that'll probably pronounce that ahasu, that sort of pronounce that I a little bit more, ahasu. I got a comment here. How would you write shadow woman Cree? It was given a misspelled Cree. Boy, I don't do names because I'm just a learner. I don't think I know that name in the language anyway, so if you can, go back to the elder who gave you that name and see if they can write it down for you. Okay, âhkami. I was just in Edmonton and up by Smoky Lake, the Métis Crossing. It was just starting to, the leaves were starting to bud. And in summer, that's my favorite time of year. I always tell everybody this word, sagipagao. When those aspen trees, they just start to bud a little bit, and the leaves are that really, really bright, sort of yellowy green. It's just for a couple of days, it's my favorite time of year. Ate sagipagao. Ate sagipagao. Aina neu sap. I think these are vocab because there's a story we're going to read after this at the bottom of the page. So I think this is prepping us for a story, but we're just going to read through these, work on our vocab. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. That's what we, for 18, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. âhkayos. That short O, and you see a short O like that, it makes us sound like a book or shook. Us. âhkayos. Again, that IW, âhkaku. That's the way I'll hear that. The W, you could think of it as a consonant. I think that's more like a vowel. The W, when we write it in SRO, it's more like it's a rounding of the lips. And so I think of it as more of a vowel than a consonant. Âhkaku. That's the way I would probably hear that. What's this one? This is, I know I've heard a different word for bicycle, nisoskat. I think nisoskat. But this one, I saw this one recently the other day again here. I'll see if I can make out this word. Titapaya piscanis, pisiganis, or titapaya pisiganis. Titapaya pisiganis. Probably something like that. Tigeta is to like something. It's like a command. Tigetam would be that one, like something. Tigeta. Oh, tihgeta. Tihgeta. I was saying that wrong. There's a long I there. When you ever see that H, it's because we don't have, they call that an aspiration. We don't have those in English, not really. Not like that. So whenever you see an H in the word, you sort of make a little sound. Tihgeta. Like a little breath. Tipahiganis. Oh no, so I said that wrong. Tipahaskanis. Tipahaskanis. I've never heard that word before. Tipahaskanis. Interesting. Ega, which is like the negative of something. You say egawangiske, don't forget. Or sometimes you will hear egar, you can hear gaya or guy. Gayawangiske, don't forget. Egawangiske. But it can also be the negative in the conjunct. I guess that's what it says there. It's conjunct. Egua, which means and, but sometimes it also means like now. Egua can mean now. Isse is how do you explain that? Isse is like the direction of something. Isse. Hopefully I can get to the bottom of this page. Yeah. Isitetape, the way somebody was the ride in a certain way. Isitetape, ride in a specific way. Ispi. Sometimes, some areas I'll hear that K, is speak, but the way I hear this, usually, ipapitin manaya, ispi, sort of just, you hear more of that breath and that aspiration than you do in that K. Kakwe, this one too, ilgo maya kakwe, sometimes I just hear the kwe part. Kwe, I don't always hear kakwe, sometimes I just hear kwe. Yeah. Tokwe, what would you say? Tokwe, tuta, go try and do that. But sometimes I hear the whole thing, kakwe. Gawe. This is one of those ones, I know what it means, I never know the right place to put it in the sentence, usually. Gawe. Kiksepayao. It is morning. So you see that one, that's a verb there. Kigsepayao. Gispin. 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 Kasagihin se makdot semen. Gispin. Yeah. Giwepay. Giwepay. Like drive home, I guess, or yeah, ride home, I guess. Mamo. Mamo. That I, whenever you say this, you can't say this word just on its own, mamo, I don't think. Usually you hear it like a mamo mitsoyak, like we ate together. A mamo mitsoyak, or a mamo, that's part of the word. A mamo kamatoyak, you could say that too. But like mamo, usually you hear this when it's in with another word. Mana, which is like usually, or like, usually, I guess you could say. This book is, this is âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You can find this at, you might be able to find this at Chapters. They have, I'm all zoomed in there so you can't see it. I'll put it up in a minute. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, you should be able to find it at Chapters, or you can get it at U of R Press online. U of R, the University of Regina sells these ones. Where did I go here? Mano, okay, we did those. Okay, we'll go to the top of the next column here. Muscoteo. So I wonder how this one is. Muscoteo, I usually hear Pascual, Muscoteo. Must be just two different words for the same kind of thing. Muscoteo. Makes me wonder how they're different. So when there's two words for something, it's like, makes me wonder if there's like a difference. Mettone or mittone. That's two different ways I hear that one. Like really, very, I guess. Oh, metnenigi spun. I'm really full. Metnenigi spun. Mina. Whenever you have if you look at, these are good examples actually, because this, muscosi is like grass, but muscoteo is like it's like the grass, muscosia, right? Muscoteo, to me, I guess whenever it means like, well, it says prairie. I don't know. I don't hear this word very much. I mean, like I have heard it. The word I hear for prairie is pascual. So maybe like grassy area. I don't know. This is that Solomon Rat put this, so this is maybe a little bit more Saskatchewan Cree, but it's like it's the same. Like I don't want to say I don't hear that word. I just don't hear it as much. If you look at these words, though, especially this one here, you see that there's like a three. If you break these up, so I'll actually take a second. This is Plains Cree Nêhiyawêtân Y dialect. Nêhiyawêtân. So if you take this word here, and the way I would write this is this way. See if I can write it. Me, to, and then ne is going to be like this. Ne, mitto ne. This is the same mitto ne, or you could do it this way. I wrote it with the I, mitto ne, but it sort of breaks up into 3 syllables if you divide it based on the vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel. That's how the syllabics work. This is me, to, ne. Me, to, ne. So if you break it up that way, and then you look at this one mina. So that's going to be the same. Again, I'm writing this mina. Mina is going to be this way. Mina. This way? No, this way. Mina. Nope, that's the wrong way. Boy, it's out of practice. Ga. No, this way. Yeah, this way. I have to think about it for a sec. Mina, the long I. So you can see this one has 3 syllables. When I say 3 syllables, that's what I mean. And this one has 2 syllables. Right? Metone or mitone. Mina. So when you see that, the stress will be on this one, on the third, usually the third last. So 1, 2, 3. So it'd be mittone, mittone. There's like a little bit of a raised pitch in my voice there, mittone. But if it's only 2 syllables a word, manaya, usually you'll say the stress on the second one, mina, mina. You don't say mina, you say mina. The stress is on the second one. So that's one of the things that's harder to figure out when you're just learning, is figuring out the stress. All right, get zoomed back out there. ya. Okay, mistahe, which is like a lot. Yeah, mistahe. Miunagwan, when something looks good, or miunagwan. Miunagwan, it looks good, it's beautiful, I guess. Namoya. Moya. Hear this a few different ways. Namoya, moya, or just moy. Sometimes I'll say moy. Nanatok, all different kinds. Nanato. Neosap, 14. Kotasogi sagao. Or the 6th day, you can think of it that way. You start with Monday. Monday, Piogo gisagao, Niso gisagao, Nisto gisagao, Neo gisagao, Niano gisagao, and then Gotaso gisagao, Saturday. But for Sunday, we usually, the way I hear it, we don't say like the 7th day usually. Out here, they call it Ayemiheo gisagao, like the church day, I guess you could think of it that way. Reading day. Nistano, there's a few different ways I hear this word, nistano. This is short for nisumtano. Nisumitano is the long way you would say that. Nisumitano. Or nistano, nisumtano, or nisumitano. Niska is goose. Oh, I missed the comment here. Tisqua. Mina is my name, but it doesn't mean what you have on your definition in my language. Interesting. Yeah, and plain screen âhkami-nêhiyawêtân when it means also. Mina. Niska is a goose. Uta is like right here. It's like being very specific. Uta. Like right here. If you say ute, you're saying like over here. Uta, right here. Papam. This is another one of those ones you don't just use this on its own. You'd say like papam patao, like that one ran around or something. Around. Papam pai. Go out and about. What if you could say that for driving around? Papam pai. Makes me wonder. Yep, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân no maya. Plains Cree dialect. Isasawaya. Isasawaya. We're practicing. Bacs is a bird. Bacs. Sagahiganis. Sagahiganis or Sagahiganis. Sagahiganis, I hear that sometimes. Sagahiganis, like a little lake, I guess. Sagahiganis or Sagahiganis. Hear that both ways. Siiguan. There's two ways I hear this word, or for words for spring. Siiguan, and the other one I hear is âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I don't know the difference between those words. If one is like, I don't know what the difference is. Sisip for one. Sisipak for more than one. Sokioweo is very windy. Sokiowek, you could say. Dapia. This is one of those words that I still don't know how to, after all these years, I still don't know how to use this word correctly. Dapia. I hear this all the time. At least. And I don't understand. That's like, dapia to me means like just, sort of. But again, I don't know how to use it correctly in context. I hear this word all the time. And I kind of know what it means. But every time I hear it, it's like, yeah. Okay, let me pull this up. People are asking, where do I find this book? So I just pull up my computer, and I'll just show you where you can find this. I got to navigate cords and phones and things. So if you Google, what is it called in English? Let's keep speaking Cree. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Let's keep speaking Cree. So if you just Google that, let's keep speaking Cree, and it should come up by U of R Press right there. So if you go to the U of R Press, chapters might have it, but if you go to U of R Press, they have all of these books, and they ship pretty quick. Yeah. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Okay, we're just about done this word list. Let's get back down here. Zoom out. Okay. I'm gonna fix my phone. Just go. And move things around. Okay. Okay, where are we at? We did seep. Soki-oil. Dapiak. That's the one I was saying. I still don't know how to use that word right. Like I said, I hear it all the time. I just can't quite. It just seems to have like the meaning escapes me. Capits. Okay, so Ditipska. Ride something? I don't know this word. Ride something with wheels. Ditipska. Interesting word. Wahyo. Far away. Wapam. This is like to see someone, but you're saying it like in the command form. Wapam, you're saying, see them. Usually you would say like, wap mao or wap meo. A wap mit. That one saw me. Okay, we putz, which is early. Okay, now that we've done that, let's try and read this story. Got all those words memorized? Okay, let's give her. Let's go read this story now. You'll have to help me out as we figure out what this is saying. All right. Ispima nagasi guac, so usually when it was spring, I guess, we put sa gig sepayag, gan to guaso gisagag, ni papam ti tipskin. That's that word we just learned. Ti tipska, ride around with something with wheels. So I guess we're saying when it was spring, usually early in the morning on Saturday, kan go tuaso gisagag, ni papam tipskin, I went riding around in something with wheels. So I don't know, he's probably talking about a bike, right? I'm assuming. Yeah, there it is right there, that word. We just learned this one too. It's up here. Bicycle. Titapayapsiganis. Wayo mana. And kakwe. The way I hear this usually, I just like kwe. And kwe pam titipskin. That's the way I'll hear that. So that first little ka right there, I won't hear. Usually. But we'll say it the way he's got it wrote here. Wayo mana ni kakwe pam titipskin. Titapayapsiganis. So I would try and ride my bike really far, I guess he's saying here. Yeah, gispin gamiste so gioe if it wasn't really windy. So there's that gispin if. Ega, which is like negating something. Mistehe, like a lot. There's that word sokioeo, which is really windy. But this one here's this one they call the infinitive or future infinitive. What that means is if it is a strong wind, or if it is, how would you say that? If it is strongly windy, doesn't make sense. But basically what it's saying is, if it wasn't really windy, he's saying, Neosap 14, Tipahaskansa 14 kilometers. This is that word for kilometers, I guess. Mana Natitipskin. I would ride for 14 kilometers. Ride my bike for 14 kilometers. Titapayapsiganis. Sagahe gansich is it towards the lake. Hegwagawi orta giwe payan, and then back again, back home again, I guess. This book is âhkami-nêhiyawêtân by Solomon Rat. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, which is like, let's continue to speak the Cree language, I guess. You can find this. They might have this at your local chapters. They have some of these books in the languages sections. You can just go check. They'll have some of these, but otherwise you can get it at the U of R Press. So if you go to the U of R Press online and you just look for that book, Let's Keep Speaking Cree. Oh, can't click on that. It's not a touchscreen. And then you can get it. The ebook says, oh, it says it's print to order, so it might take a couple weeks. So yeah, you might want to check, I don't know, maybe Amazon or something if you want it faster. Okay, where are we at here? So we were, oh yeah, Sagay Gansi is set towards the lake. Egwa Gawi Giwe Payan. And then back home again. And then to ride back home again. Yeah, if you're just starting out, so I got a comment here that says you need prior knowledge on how to pronounce it. What I would recommend for that is you can find this book online for free. So if you're just starting out and you're thinking, oh, this is pretty tough, you can go to my site. So my site is kiano.net. Okay, that's how it's. What did I spell wrong? Spell it right. There we go. So that's how you spell Kiano. Kiano.net. Okay. If you go there and then you go here to Learner Library and you search for, probably Plains would do it. And we're looking for, scroll down a bit, Cree Language of the Plains by Gene Okimasis. This is a free PDF online. It comes with audio and the workbook. These are all free online. You can also order these. I don't know if you can get them. I know the U of R Press has them. Let's just see if we can find them on here. Plains. Cree Language of the Plains. So this is the book. You can get a paper version, but the workbook is what the... So this is the workbook here, Cree Language of the Plains lab workbook, but you have to find the audio online. And if you just Google the audio, there's a broken version out there. So if you just go to my site, kiano.net, you can find the audio sessions here. They're on, I think, SoundCloud or something. And so there's audio. Gene Okimasis did audio for all 20 chapters of the workbook. So if you're just starting out, I would recommend that, because then you can follow along with the workbook and get all the pronunciations from there. It's a good place to start. Okay, let's keep going. Just double check real quick, see if I missed any other comments. I think we're doing okay. If I missed your comment, just drop it in there again. Okay. Okay, back again. I guess you can use mamo on its own. I've never seen that before. Mamo nistano âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Tsepahaskansa. Altogether, 28 kilometers. Okay, so that's interesting. Mamo nistano. I wonder why you say nisitano. That's interesting. What do they have for that up here? Yeah, 20. I guess, yeah, okay, nistano. The way I would say that is nistano. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, 28. I know that seems like 20 and then 18, but that's the way that you say 28. So you don't say nistano âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. That's just for whatever reason. Because to actually say like 18, you say just âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, but in some areas they say mitatat âhkami-nêhiyawêtân for 18. I don't know why, that's just the way it is. Tsepahaskansa, those are kilometers, I guess. Okay. Epapam tipskaman, or you could say epapam tipiskaman. But that ISK is gonna collapse mostly the way I'll hear that. Epapam tipskaman. That's the way I'll probably hear that. Titsapaya pisiganis, or Titapayapskanas. Maybe I've never heard this word before, so I'm guessing on that. Ispi sokioege. When it's windy, moimana wayo, nitise, tehtapin. I wouldn't ride far. So when it's windy, ispi sokioege. When it was windy, I usually wouldn't ride far. Moimana wayo, nitise tehtapin. Tepiah atsyo mana, nipapam tipskein, titapayap siganis. Holy, this word's a tongue twister. So what's he saying there? I understand this word is just, but what did he say for tepiah again? At least a little while. Mana nipapam tipskein. I would ride around on my bike. There's that word again. Titapayap siganis. Ispika so kiowek, when it was windy. Skoma miste so kioweotam musko take. So he's saying it was sometimes really windy here on the prairie, I guess. Ntsigitin tapam tips kaman titapayap siganis. That word. Ispikasi kwak. So what's he saying here? So ntsigitin, I really like, or I enjoy, I guess, to ride my bike around in the spring, when it is spring, I guess you could say. Ispikasi kwak. Ispimana kapapampayan, when I would ride around. Nawapmawak, I would see, plural. Nanatok piesi, suck, all kinds of birds, or different kinds of birds, I guess you could say. Nanatok, like different kinds, all kinds, I guess, say. Nanatok, all kinds, all different kinds of birds. Nawapmawak nanatok piesi, suck. Cha kayo suck. Was that pelicans again? No, blackbird he's saying. Kayos. It's a blackbird. Ku is a pelican. Okay. Kayosak. Kuak. So pelicans. Niskak, geese. Ahasuak, crows. No, ravens. Which one is that one again? Ahasu. It's up here somewhere. Ahasu is a crow. Okay. Ahasuak, eguanatok, sisipak, and all kinds of ducks, he says. Hatsumusi kansak, pussy willows, meaning nawapmawak, I would see usually. Espiga sagipagak, when they were just starting to bloom. It's really beautiful, the land, I guess you could say, the earth, aski, like the land. When it's springtime, is what he's saying there. It's really beautiful when it's spring. Yeah, Tapuewa, it really is. I was just in Alberta and it was, and there's a bunch of questions. Let's go through these. It could be fun, or it could be a disaster. Let's see what we end up with here. Answer the following questions about the daily activities. Tanspi mana wagap bam di tipskak. Titapai, I'll get this word down. Titapayapsiganis. So it's saying Tanspik manawa kapapam ti tipska. So now the grammar, I'll say, has changed. So if we look at this, we worked on this last week actually. If you were here last Sunday, if you look at his story, he says right here, Ipapan ti tipskaman. So when you use that man in what they call that conjunct with the little E on the front, when you use that e papam ti tipska man, that's me. I rode my bike around, or I rode around, he's saying, tipska man. But when we change it to this one, papa e papam ti tipska, we're talking about that one now. We're talking about that other person. This isn't me or you anymore. This is some other person we're talking about. And that's kind of tipped off by this one here. Awa. Tanspihpana awaga papam ti tipska. Ti tipayap siganis. So when is it usually that this one would ride their bike around? And you could say si guan mana. Si guan mana in the springtime. Or you could say ispiga si guag. I don't think you'd say it that way though. I think you'd say just si guan. But again, I'm willing to be wrong about that. Wayoti mana kakwe pam ti tipskam. So here's the what they call the independent. So wayoti mana kakwe pam ti tipskam ti tipayap siganis. So then you could say, how would you say that? You would say only when it gispinega sogi, I forgot the word already. Sogi uwig. Yeah, you could say gispinega sogi uwig pogo. Only when it wasn't windy. I wonder, you could probably say it that way. Gispinega sogi uwig. Trying to get that word into my brain. It's a tongue twister. Tanta to tipahaskansa mana ti tipskam titapayap siganis ki spinegamis de si. There's that word. So kiuig. Oh no, it's in the conjunct. It's in the obviate. So this changes even. So kiuig. So what happens here, this is really interesting. If you stick around for a second, I'll explain why that has an extra little bit on there. Instead of sokiuege, it's sokiuege. There's an extra little ig on there. And that's because we're already talking about somebody. So there's these four, how do I explain this? There's like four, you can kind of think of it as like four positions when there's a story, okay? There's me, okay, Nia, right? That's me. I'm talking to you. So this is you, this is Kia. Then we're talking about this third one. This is Solomon's story we're talking about. So that's this one. Awa. Then there's this other third person position. There's a word for this in the linguistics. They call this the obviate. And if you're talking about two people, then you put a little on the end of a word to differentiate whether you're talking about this person or whether you're talking about this person. But the interesting thing is if you're talking about somebody, in this case we're talking about Solomon, that weather term, the windy weather term, also gets pushed into this what they call obviative. That's why that exists. So over here when he was talking about himself, that's why it says âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Just memorize that spelling or the way that word is âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. But when we go here, since now we're talking about Solomon, right? Then it gets that extra little bit on the end because this is being pushed into that further position, what they call that obviate. The question is, does we also talking to a group? If talking about a group, you would say, yes, you could say we that one. But if you're talking about a group of people, a P for plural, you could say oge, these ones, or in the case of we you would say wow, those ones. Wow, those ones. So we that one or that thing, wow, those ones. Okay, I hope that was clear. So that's why that. So let's read that again. Tantato tipahaskan samana tihtipskam titipayap siganis gispinegamis de sokiowege. Sokiowege. Holy, that's a mouthful. So, how many kilometers would he ride his bike when it wasn't windy? When it wasn't really windy? And so I guess we could say neosap. Which word for kilometers? That one. Tipahaskansa. Neosap tipahaskansa. Tipahaskansa. I'm going to say it a few times. Noble says, Tanse, kimino matsina tapwe. Yeah. Miup matsin, yeah. The miwayan, I would say. I'm doing good, feeling good. Dante mana gasiti tipskag. This word, titapayapsiganis. I'm guessing on this pronunciation because I don't really know this word. I'm just guessing that's how I would hear it. Because that ISIK in there will just like kind of smoosh in the way that I hear this usually. If you said somewhere, I'm sure they will say titapayapisiganis. Titapayapisiganis. But that ISIK is going to collapse into a sk. Titapayapsiganis. Titapayapsiganis. Nah, I don't even know how I'm going to say it now. Just ignore me when I say this word. I don't know how to say it. Tate mana gasiti tapskag. Titapayapsiganis. So tante mana, where would ga isse? So isse is like the way or the direction, you could say. So where would he ride his bike usually? Sagahiganik isse. Isse tipskag. He would ride his bike thus, you could say, I guess. Wayoti mana pam tipskam. This word trips me up because I keep wanting to say tipiskam. Tipskam. So which is like to have a birthday. Tipskam is the when somebody has a birthday. That's why it's throwing me off. Wayoti mana pam tipskam. Titapayapsiganis. Ispi so kiyowe. That conjunct again. Let me practice this one a few times. When you add a syllable on the end, it changes the stress or the pronunciation of the word, mana. So it's good to practice those. So I'll just run over this a few times, see if I can get it out. Because again, this one here has one less syllable than this one. That's got that I on the end. This one's still in the conjunct, but it's not the infinitive or like, if or when. This is just sokiyoyik, 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 speak, sokiyoyik. Okay, let me try and read that sentence again. Wayoti mane papam ti tipskam titapayap siganes speak, sokiyoyik. So what does that mean? Was it far that he usually rode his bike when it was windy? And you could say, moya, moywayao, mane e papam tipska. Ti tipska, I said tipska. E papami ti tipska, sokiyoweke. Oh, sokiyoweke. You have to keep working on that word. Okay, next one. Tepiak timana atio ti tipskam. Oh, this word. Titapayap siganis spi sokioweke. So what does that mean? At least? What was tepiak is like? At least? So they're saying, did he at least ride his bike for a little bit? Atsio is like a little bit. Like atsio, yeah, like for a little bit. Tepiak timana atsio ti tipskam. Titapayap siganis spi sokiowege. Did he at least ride his bike a little bit when it was windy? Aha, tepiak. What if you say tepiak manatio titipskam titpayap siganes ispi sokioege? I guess you could probably say that. Okay, next question. Askoti mana miste sokioeo uta musko te. You know what's really interesting? Oh, because that's going to be the locative. Yeah. Okay, because that's a noun. Okay. Brain tripped on that word for a second. On the prairie is what? On the prairie. Askoti mana miste so kiueo tamaskotek. Askoti mana, is it sometimes really windy here on the prairie? Tapwe. I guess you could say tapwe asko miste so kiueo maskotek. It is sometimes really windy on the prairie. I guess you could say that. Okay, next one. Tigi tamchi tapam ti tipska titapai psiganis ispiga si guaniak. Oh, why am I having connection issues here? Wi-Fi's. I think we're okay. Still with the green dot. Okay, we'll keep going. Tigi tamchi, did he enjoy it? What did they say? To be happy, to enjoy. Tigi tam, where was that? I learned that word tigeta, to like, yeah, to be happy about something, but to like it. Tigeta, to be excited. I learned that word to mean like excited, but said, did he like to ride around on his bike, ispiga si guaniak, when it was spring? And then you could say, ha, tigeta mana, tapapam ti tipska, titapayap siganis ispiga si guaniak. He enjoyed riding his bike around when it was spring. You could say that. Kiamaga, kitigi tinsi papam ti tipskaman. So now we're talking about you. Ti tipskaman. Titapayap siganes spiga sigwak. It's saying, what about you? Kiamaga, when you hear that. Kiamaga, what about you? Kitigi tinsi. Boy, this word tongue twists me every time. Kitigi tinsi papam. Ti tipskaman or ti tipskaman. Titapayap siganis ispiga sigwak. Do you like to ride your bike around in the spring? Aha, itigitin man at papam ti tipskaman. Titapayap siganis ispiga sigwak. I do like to ride my bike around when it is spring. Kego pie sisa manawap meo. Ispiga papam ti tipska titapayap siganis. So what's interesting about this, now you see that wapameo, but we say piesi sa, because normally if I say, this is just something that happens. Remember, if we're talking about me, if we're talking about multiple birds, oge, we can say piesi sak. Okay, Piesi suck. Okay, piesi suck. That ak on the end is like tells us that it's plural, right? And they're animate. Maga. In this case, we're talking the birds are now in this. Remember, we talked about this obviate position. So if I say I saw the birds, I'm going to say nia, and these ones here oge. So I would use piesi suck. But in this case, we're talking about this one. So awa is Solomon. So this is Solomon here. And we can't say piesi sak because that would be ambiguous. We wouldn't know who was seeing who. We have to say piesi sa. That on the end, when we have that word wapmel, that on the end tells us that the birds are the ones being seen. That's why that's there. That's why we don't say piesi sak, we say piesi sa. Wap meo What kinds of birds did he see? Ispiga pamtitipska when he was riding around on his bike. Titspayapsiganis. What kind of birds? That's we have to say piesisa. Because if we said piesisak, it would be ambiguous. We wouldn't know who was being seen. We have to say piesisa. Kego piesisak manawap meo. Ispiga pamtitipska. Titspayapsiganis. And that would be like ahasuak, sisipak, niskak. What was the other one? The pelicans, I forget this word. Chahchakuak, hegwaya chahchakayusak. Blackbirds, pelicans, ducks, geese. Did I get them all? And the crows. The question is, being seen by me. Oh, somebody asked, do you have a book? Which book do you mean? This book here you can find on University U of R Press website. Let me pull that up again. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. This is this book here. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You might be able to find this at chapters. Just check your local chapters. Might have it in the languages section. Local chapters, or this one. Oops. This one looks like print on demand, so you have to order it, but it'll be a couple weeks before you can get it. Okay, so the other question was from Manumin. You were here last week, right? Manumin, being seen by me. That's the sa. Being seen by me would be different. If I saw them, the ducks or the birds being seen by me means I saw them. I saw them. Then that's going to be nia. And I'm going to use wapam in here. So for me, I say ni, wapam, and then I'm assuming that's the plural, 3 plural. Nwapmawak. If I just say niwapamau, I'm saying I see that one, or I saw that one. Niwapamau. Niwapamau nito tame ash. Or niwapamau nisigus. I saw my mother-in-law. But if I saw them, niwapamawak sisipak. Or pac-sak. Pac-sak. Nawapmawak, pac-sak. So the them is implied. The birds. Saw the birds. But if we're talking about the third person, then the reason for this is the obviative is what they call the obviate. There's these two positions, eh? So if I want to say Solomon, wapameo, bacs. Okay, this is the problem. If I say just comments. This is Plains Cree dialect. Is it the same as Swampy? It's very similar to Swampy. Lots of the words between Y and N. Swampy is N dialect, and they're going to sound very similar in most cases. So in the case of this Swampy dialect, or N dialect, I think they say pinesis. I think that Y changes to an N in N dialect. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to ask some of my N dialect friends, but I'm pretty sure this is one of those ones. That pacs, I believe, becomes pinesis. That's the difference between N dialect and then in TH dialect, you'd say pidesis, pidesisak. That becomes a TH in TH dialect. So the problem with this sentence is problematic right now. Solomon wapmeo pacs, because the problem is that we don't know who is seeing who. Okay, think of it this way. if I said, I use the example of my brothers. Bill and Warren are standing over there. Those are my brothers. Bill and Warren are standing over there. He saw him. If I say he saw him, does that mean Bill saw Warren or Warren saw Bill? Who saw who? That's ambiguous. It's not clear. And so if I said that, oh, Bill and Warren are standing over there. He's talking to him. Oh, who's doing the talking? Oh, Bill's talking to Warren. Okay, so we would clarify that. When we speak the Cree language, we clarify that with the marker. There's a marker on the word. Solomon Wapmeo Piesis doesn't make sense because we don't know who's seeing who. We have to mark one of these words, either Solomon or Piesis. We have to mark one of them so we know who's seeing who. So that's why we say Piesisa. If we say Solomon Wapmeo Piesisa, we know that Solomon is seeing the bird or seeing the birds. Solomon Wapmeo Piesisa. This could be one or more. Okay. If we change that around, okay, if we do it this way, we could say Solomon wa, because the word order doesn't totally matter here. Wapmeo Piesis. Okay. I said this. Solomon wa Wapmeo Piesis. The bird saw Solomon. That's how that works. You have to mark that word. This is what they call, this is that other person, because there's two third persons. So when you read a story, there's that third person, and then if there's another third person, and the way I think of this is one of these people is in focus, like the focus of the story or the focus of the sentence, and that other person is sort of supplemental. That's why they call us proximate, which is like maybe closer, I guess, and obviate, which is a little further away. Those words kind of don't make sense, but when you think about it this way, Solomon Wapmeo Piesisa, Solomon saw the bird. Solomon Wapmeo Piesis, the bird saw Solomon. Because you can put these three words, you can put them in any order. You could say Solomon Piesisa Wapameo, that would mean the same thing. And you could say Piesisa Solomon Wapameo, you probably wouldn't say it that way, but it would mean the same thing. Right? Solomon saw the bird, or Solomon saw the birds. But if you put the wa over here, Piesis Wapameo Solomon wa, the bird saw Solomon. This could also be if it's more, and then if it's more than one word, more than one bird, then the Wapameo turns into Wapameo wak. We're getting into grammar now. We're getting deep into grammar land. So if that's not clear, Minoman says, oh, that makes sense. Perfect. If you want clarification on any of that, if there's any of that doesn't make sense, feel free to just ask the question, because I will go over it more. Because when you read these stories, do I have a story here? I've got Tayo and I don't want to pull out because I'll get in trouble because there's no snow on the ground. Do I have another story we can read? Just go. Let me grab this Jim K story. Just go. Oh, we'll do this one. Stories of the House People. This one here. Well, we won't read a whole bunch. My website is just go kiano.net. Let me close that up. My desk is just a mess. So my site is kiano.net. So that's it there. Oh, I got it on a card here. Just go. This one here. Kiano.net. So if you go there, kiano.net, that's my site. Take a screenshot. 3, 2, 1. Okay. And then you go up to Learner Library, and then you can find all kinds of stuff in here. And as I find resources online, I put them. I'm going to start putting Mitchif stuff in here, and other stuff too as I find it. Just more like, so if you want to just listen to stuff or watch stuff, you can just click on listen, and these are like different podcasts or audio that I find online, stuff like that. So as I find stuff, I put it here. And if you have resources that aren't on here and you're like, oh, this should be on there, just like send it to me and I'll put it on there. So, okay. All right, let's look at this book. So this one, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. And this one, I just wanted to, we'll just pull it open and find an example of the obviative. Yeah, it's right here. So right here he's saying, Tsige manehio ga ganats matsu eyo sitama sut kakyo kakyo gigwe opematse honi esse opemote honi esse. I don't know what that means, but we'll look it up in a minute. Ego mina yegok egi ganate amat otawa simsa osima. So here it is here. See, that's we're talking about the obviative. So when you're reading these stories, he's saying the Nehio people, after all, matsu, they lived a clean life. But then he talks about, they made stuff for themselves and all this stuff. But then they respected otoasimsa osma, their children and their grandchildren. So if you didn't add that on the end, it wouldn't be clear who was respecting who. That's why that's there. So when I first started learning Nihiyawê, when I would hear like, oh, that obviative, like, don't worry about it. Like, it's kind of hard to understand and it doesn't make sense. And I sort of teach I say the opposite. I'm like, no, learn it now. Because once you figure it out, the stories start making more sense, because you can't learn stories. Like, you can't, like, whenever somebody talks, they use the obviative all the time. You just can't learn. You just can't understand a story if you don't understand how the obviative works. And I mean, you don't have to like learn all the linguistic terms or whatever, but just like, once you figure it out, it makes sense. Once you figure it out. Okay. 7:30, we got a little bit of time. Do you want to do some more, like, we did some conjugation practice last week. We can go through some more conjugations, if that's cool, if everybody wants to do conjugations. Indigenous woman says, oh, I got to do my puzzle. Chisqua. It's been 90 minutes. Got to fix my puzzle. I'm repeating your words, and my granny just said, what the heck all of a sudden you what the heck all of a sudden you talking Cree? That's funny. Miasin. Moira says, how long did you study to get to this point of understanding? It's been about Nipigo my nanto tepa gopipun spin gimatsin hiwan. Spin this summer will be about 7 years. I think this summer's 7 years. Yeah, 2018 was when I started. Took my first class in the fall of 2018. Let me know if my connection is stuttering or whatever, because I keep getting a warning. If I'm choppy or whatever, just let me know. Next time I might have to go out by the router or whatever. Oh, Shanizzle says, I won an award for highest marks in the college. Yeah, sin none ma. Yeah. Itagakpitaman. Can you say that? You killed it. You nailed it. Manumin says, I am taking a bachelor's degree for Cree literacy starting in the fall. Yeah, sin. Hey, been so inspired to hear the Cree words. Powerful. Yeah, sin. All right, let's practice some more. Let's go through this. These are good words here. We did some of this last week, so this is a little bit of review. We're kind of studying. It's like Sunday night Cree study. How about that? So we pulled up, we worked on a chart last week. We were working on these, what do you call them? The VTIs. So the word that they're using here is kanawapa tam, which is like to watch something or like examine something. Do they have a Ganawapatan, the conjugation paradigm. So this word means to watch something. So if you say ganawapatamanam, like watching, like if you're watching TV or something, you can use this word. Or if you're like studying something, like looking at something sort of intently, then you can use this word. So we'll just go through these because there's a bunch of different variations here, and you can use these. Well, we'll just go through them. Yeah. So we'll say, just say it out loud. Just say it out loud, just the way that I'm saying it, and don't read it. Don't try to read it. Just say it the way you hear it, out loud. Nakanawapatin. Nigiganawapatin. Nuikanawapatin. Ngaganawapatin. This one, when I hear this, some places I'll hear nigga, but I just hear nga. Ngaganawapatin. It just kind of blends together. That's the way I hear it. Kigaganawapatin. Kiganawapatin. That's kia. Kigiganawapatin. Kiwiganawapatin. Gaganawapatin. This one here, when you get ki and ga, I never hear the ki on the front. I just hear ga. When you hear gaganawapatin, the ki is implied. But you might hear ki gaganawapatin somewhere. That's just the way I hear it. Ganawapatam. Giganawapatam. Wiganawapatam. Daganawapatam. You can say this two ways. Daganawapatam or gaganawapatam. It means they're going to watch it. Ganawapatamiwa. That other one. This is that obviate again. This one here, that's that. We just finished talking about that obviate person. That other one. Ganawapatamiwa. Oh, these are going to get tongue twistery now. Giganawapatamiwa. Wiganawapatamiwa. Taganawapatamiwa. Okay, now we're getting into us. Whenever you see that one P, that means plural. That's us but not you. Us but not you. There's a way. If I said, we're going to the store. We're going to this. If I come up to you and I said, hey, we're going to the store. If we had agreed that we were all going to the store earlier and you were coming with us, then that would be inclusive, and that would be this one. All of us were going to the store. But say you didn't know anything about us going to the store, and I was just coming up to you and I was saying, hey, we're going to the store. Now I'm saying us but not you. So that's the difference between these. This one is kiano, and this one is nianan. Nianan, we're going to the store. Us but not you. Kiano, we're all going to the store. So this one is nianan. Naganawapate-nan. We're watching it, but not you. Nigiganawapate-nan. Niwiganawapate-nan. Ngaganawapate-nan. Now this is all of us. Kiano. Gaganawapate-no. Kigiganawapate-no. Kiwiganawapate-no. Kigaganawapate-no. This is all of y'all. Whenever you hear that ow wow on the end, kia wow. That's all of y'all. Kaganawapate na wow. Kaganawapate na wow. Now this is in the past. Kigiganawapate na wow. This one means you're going to. Kiwiganawapate na wow. This one is like you're going. This one is like you intend to, or like you mean to, and this one's like you're gonna. Kaganawapate na wow. Now this is those ones. We wow. Ganawapatamwak. Giganawapatamwak. We ganawapatamwak. Daganawapatamwak or gaganawapatamwak. You can say that. Or you can even say gitokanawapatamwak. You can say it that way too. You'll see it different ways. Different areas will say that. It means the same thing. It's like they're going to they're going to do something. If you want me to go over anything again, just let me know. We're just doing like kind of review, like Sunday night practice. So if you have questions, You can just ask. You don't need to, this isn't a class or anything. You can just ask. Okay, we're going to do the conjunct. So I could try and explain what these mean. Mostly I'm speaking practice. So like as you study, as you go through and you start to read a little bit, or you start to listen to speakers and you start practicing the way that you say words, you'll derive your own understanding of what the words mean in context, because it'll be a little bit different depending on the context or sometimes the region. Different communities might have slightly different meanings for words. Even though it means the same thing, it might have a little bit different background or relevance within maybe the stories you know or the traditions that you know. So then we come together and we share those, because it's a little bit different everywhere, right? But even if we say the words the same, or we might say them a little bit different and they mean the same thing, so it can be all of those things. So mostly I focus on just how to say them, how to what you call practice the muscle memory, right? Because there's more muscles in your mouth than there is, or something anyway. Like you think about when you say things, if you've never said these words before, it's sort of like if you've never I don't know, done something hard before, like beaded or like did leather work or something, or if you've never danced, like I've never danced powwow, so I couldn't go out there and just start doing the fancy dance or chicken or something like that, because I've never done it before, right? You have to practice. Or if you've never done like jigging, right? If you've never done it before, then you have to practice. And that's the same with these words, because the sounds are different. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, when you speak the Cree language, the sounds are different in the language than the English sounds that you know. And the way that you say them and the way the stress moves, we have to practice. So that's why I read on the TikTok, is to practice. So when you hear a word, try and say it out loud exactly the way that you hear it, especially from your fluent speakers, and just practice that word. Even if you don't know what it means, just practice, because your brain's job is to figure out the meaning, which it will do if you just keep practicing, if you just keep reading, if you keep listening and all that stuff. But then if you want to speak, if you want to speak the language, then you got to practice saying things out loud. There, that's my rant on... that's my rant. Okay, let's practice. Okay. Just say it the way that you hear it. Just say it out loud. Don't try to read it. Just try to say it out loud the way that you hear it. This one means me, that man, at the end. Okay. That as opposed to man, that's you, man. So this is me, man, you, man. 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 If you have a fluent speaker sitting there listening to you, like that person said just a minute ago, you're probably going to get funny looks because you're just saying all these words. I'm looking at it. I looked at it. I'm going to look at it. You probably sound like you're not making any sense. Okay. Kia now. Man. Man. When you see that conjunct mode, sometimes that gi means, it means in the past, but it means in the past relative to whenever the time and place of the story. So I don't just think of this as like you watched it. I think of this as like you were watching it, but at the point in time that you're describing this, you're not watching it anymore. That's usually what that means, like relative to the time of the story, if that makes sense. Okay, let's keep going. So this one here, that thumb, that M turns into an H, and you end up with the K on the end. That's just how it is. Now we're in the obviate. Now this is us but not you. There's a little bit of a K on the end is the way I'll hear that. A little bit of a K. Just a little bit. This one here, the K is really soft the way I hear this, or sometimes I just don't even hear it at all. Iganawapatama. Iganawapatama. Iwiganawapatama. That's the way I usually hear that. This one's all y'all. If it's make or yake, that's y'all. Kiowao. Iganawapatamek. Igiganawapatamek. Iwiganawapatamek. And then this is wiwao, those ones. Iganawapatahkik. Iganawapatahkik. Igiganawapatahkik. Iwiganawapatahkik. There. That's a lot of practice. Just, and that's just the different, what would you say? This one here, the ta, you can actually use that one over here too. Ta-kanawapat, or ka-kanawapata-kik, or you can say ta-kanawapata-kik, or you can say kita-kanawapata-kik. And it still kind of means like to watch it. They're going over there for them to watch it. I don't know. It's no real direct translation for that one. But. Okay, hamaga. So we've been. I feel like we covered a lot today. We did a whole bunch of. We did some vocab, and then we read a story. We can just leave it at that tonight. That's lots. We did that whole VTI again. We did the whole independent mode, and then we did the whole conjunct. There's only 8 of each. I know there's a whole bunch of words here, but if you look at these are the same, eh? This one, and this one, and this one, and this one, these are all the same. They're just one word. They just have different, what do you call those? Tense, I guess. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the independent, and then there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 16 in that paradigm, so it's not bad to like practice those and just remember them. It's when you get into the VTAs that there's a lot, but we'll come back to that one. Anyway, that's that book there, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Yeah, good practice tonight. All right, what time is it here? 7:44. So we'll just open it up. I'm going to flip my camera around, go hands-free for a minute. We can visit for 10 minutes before we shut down. If anybody has any questions, if you want to practice speaking, I can invite you on the live. If you're feeling brave, you want to visit. All right, there, and I don't have to hold this thing anymore. It's hard to look around my phone. All right, go back and make sure I didn't miss any comments. Dante Kiwa, Dante Otsukiwa, where you all? Dante Otsiek? Where's everybody tuning in from tonight? I think I got everything here. Looks like I got all my comments. St. Paul. Kispatnak. Dante Tagwe Kispatnak. Oh yeah, Muscochis or Muscochis. Manoanis. Oh yeah, that's right too. Kispatnak. That's in Muscochis. Okay, miasin. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. If you're gonna call me names, just at least do it in the language. I watching the Irish Swindlers videos because she just missing me with your skuck. It's funny. Hey, Manoanis, Dante Tagwe, Manoanis. Where's that at? I don't think I've heard that name before. Manoanis. Is that out east? Oh, that's by St. Paul. Manoanis. Is that what they call St. Paul? Manoanis? I've never heard that before. I was just up there at Smoky Lake by the Métis Crossing, just east of, or just west of Onitskaponi. The geese land on the water. Huh. Interesting. I've never heard that before. That's cool. That's cool. Hey, Dansigisik. Dansigia. Hey, we're just wrapping up here. We just did some practice, some vocab and reading. Spin guy, stop boy. Yeah, I was just up at Smoky Lake just when that fire was there. We were getting like alerts on our phone, like by the hour almost. It was about maybe about 15K west of there. That's the first time it's the first time I've been up to that Métis crossing. It's pretty nice up there. But I didn't have a chance to go into, somebody was having a singing out at, was it Saddle Lake or Goodfish? I think it was Saddle Lake. Just coming to be nosy. Wonder if there's a word for that. What's the word for nosy? If you're just being like snoopy. I know I've heard a word for that. I can't think of what it is. I'll have to ask. Do you know a word for that? Being nosy? Let me check online. See if there's a word. Moya. Nosy or snoopy? No. I know I've heard a word, but I can't think of it right now. Ongiskisin. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to, one of the things I was thinking about doing, Gil got when some people were on the live, or were like, come and visited a couple weeks ago, and we said it would be kind of cool to do like a visiting, like maybe like a Friday night visiting or something, but I don't know how to do that, to set it up so you can, I see on live sometimes there's spots like you can request to be like on the live. I just don't know how to set that up so people could like jump on and visit. I wonder if I have to do that before I start the live. Probably do. I'll see if I can set that up for next time. You can have like some seats or something like that. And then even if you just wanted to come on and like ask questions or practice or share, like a Gisik, who's got lots of language, could share. Yeah. But people might not think to do that. Like, so Gisik says, I see a spot of mine that says guest. You just have to accept the invite, which is cool. But if you have a spot, maybe it's a little more inviting if there's like those little, I'll just figure out how to do that one of these days. So people can just push the button and jump on. We can just like visit for 15 or 20 minutes at the end. Sometimes fluent speakers come on and they have like, they want to share different words and stuff. Like sometimes we're going through those word lists, and then people will share different words because there's different. What page is that? 108. It's just as we went through that list. Like that one word, muscoteo. Like I don't hear that word as much, though I do see it in the story sometimes, but I don't usually hear that word. Or like, I don't know. I could pick on that word bicycle. I heard a different word for that, but that's like not a high frequency word, I think. Or even that depia. That depia, that's one of those words I've been like studying that word for like 3 years, and I still don't fully understand what it means. Yeah, different dialects. Tapoi maga. Oh, wait a minute. Guests. Well, I can just invite people. I can just like send everybody invites. So if you want an invite to come on and visit, just let me know. I can just invite all kinds of people. It's kind of fun. Oh, now it's telling me to invite people. So yeah, we're just going to visit for a few minutes. We'll go till it's 10 to, so we'll go for another 10 minutes or something. you have any thoughts or questions on anything that we did, I'll pull up that site again if you want to find that book. The one we're working on tonight, I just grabbed that one for fun, so I'll flip my camera around. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, flip. But I see here it says print to order. I usually don't order off of Amazon. I know that's more convenient or accessible for people, so I won't tell you not to. But you can get it off of a University of Regina Press. And they have a lot of books. Speaking of books, I actually have some books to give away soon. Most of the books that are in SRO come out of the University of Regina Press. So I really like to promote them because they've done so much work for literacy in the language. Also, if you are learning a Northern Michif, these resources would largely apply, even though there's a slightly different writing system. I don't know if it's standardized for Northern Michif per se. It's SRO-ish, so if you were learning Northern Michif, then the same resources would apply. I was going to show off these cards. Maybe in the last few minutes I'll go through those too. When I was at Métis Crossing, MNC gave us these cards, and I think they're super cool. They come in this little box, this little red rose box. And I'm like, oh man, I put them on TikTok, and then people started asking, where do you get these? So I went and asked them, and they hand made them. All of these boxes were made by hand. These little red rose boxes. They're little, the conference was Harvesting and Preserving Michif Stories. Just a couple weeks ago at Métis Crossing. It's pretty good. And then they're little affirmation cards in 3 different dialects. I just think they're so cool. Except my Southern Michif and my French Michif are pretty bad. But anyway. But the Northern Michif is the most like Plains Cree dialect. So let's go through these just for fun. Because they're fun. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. So we'd say that the same. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I'm proud of you. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I would say this a little bit different. I would say âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You are strong. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Yeah. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I just have thoughts when there's like apostrophes and stuff. I know we put those there to help with the pronunciation, but it can be challenging because you're not guaranteed that everybody says it that way, depending on where you go. But anyway, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You are kind. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Which is like, they said, I cherish you. The way I would understand this word, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, I would say it sounds more like I bless you to me, like I'm blessing you, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, or like, I don't know, let's look it up again, because I only know this word as like a prayer word. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Whoops, spell it right. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân is like, oh yeah, cherish, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Love someone, cherish someone. I mostly only hear this word in prayer, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. I cherish you, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. So that's cool. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. Same thing, but instead of âhkami-nêhiyawêtân, it's âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I think it says you are special, but for this, to me, it means like I think highly of you. I think you're awesome. I guess you could think of it that way. I think you're awesome. I wonder if this is in there. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. âhkami is like awesome, the way I understand that. âhkami. Whoops. âhkami. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I think positively of someone, think well of someone, like someone. âhkami is more than like to me, but I guess, I don't know. My learner brain, like, it could be just my limited understanding of the word. âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. You are beautiful. I wouldn't use that long O to me means oo, like moose. So this reads to me like gimiusin, but that's not the way I would say that. I would say gimiasin, you are beautiful. Nista nimiasin, I am beautiful. Aya. Gitiinisin, or gitiinisin. I've been saying this word wrong for a long time. Gitiinisin, you are smart. I just learned this from this card. I never knew this word before. Gemutzigisin. Gemutzigisin, you are fun. Kiskiatsin. Kiskiatsin. This one too, I don't know. You are funny. Kiskiatsin. A couple more before we run out of Northern Michif cards. Nimiatin gapetatan gapigskuyin. The way I'd say this, nimiwitin. But oh no, this is a different word, nimiatin. I didn't know this word. It's interesting. Can you say miatam? We looked this up last time. Yeah, miatam. Interesting. To like the sound of something, which is cool. I like the sound. Kapita-tan. I like to hear the sound of you speaking. I like to hear kapita-tan kapikskuin. Yeah, I love hearing you speak. I guess that's the way you'd say that, yeah. Ganita nagamun. I would say this a little bit different again, but I know this is a variation of that word. Nagamo or nigamo. Nigamo is the way I would say that. Ganita nigamun. Ganita nagamun. Kia uniga neo. My brain's trying to make sense of that, but I think it makes sense. Hiya. Gmamitsa-hawak. Gawahkamaka-noak. I would say this a little bit different. See, they're saying here, Gawahkamaka-nanak. And I don't know why that is there. Because the way I would say this, Ganahiuyan-mana, the way I hear this is Gawahkamaka-noak. So it might just be a variation. It might be a Michif thing. Could be. You make your ancestors proud. Gamamitsa-hawak. Gawahkamaka-noak. You make our ancestors proud. Mamitsin e apito go saniuyan. I'm proud to be Métis. It's a cool word. Isagi tanaski. Sagi tanaski ga âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. I love the earth I'm connected to. Another interesting word, âhkami-nêhiyawêtân. The way I understand this word, I would say, is like, I love the earth that sustains us, I guess, is the way I would think of that. That's the end of the Northern Michif. I tried to do these other Michif cards before, and I don't want to butcher them live on TikTok. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. We're at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'll just double check my comments one more time. I have a couple extra of these red rose cards of affirmation in 3 different dialects of Michif. If you want one, let me know. I have a couple extra to give away. But not you, Shanice. I'm still waiting on my kakeokwa. Just kidding. Just kidding. If you want a set, I'll send you some. Cool. Yeah, may asinan ma. So we'll just wrap it up there. Your book is in Edmonton. It's at my house in Edmonton. Oh, I took a picture of it. I'll send it to you. Sitting there on the shelf, all lonely, waiting for you to come into town and pick it up. Hiya. Kakiuk Scott now. I'll greet everybody. Ganaskuntinawao. Kapegyogoik. Everybody that come to visit tonight, I am grateful. I Tapwe Geese Jamarsi. There's some mischief right there. Mia Sinanma. We're gonna go live again next Sunday. We're just doing once a week for now. While we get back into the swing of things. And all the different dialects tonight. Everybody that joined in from different spots. We'll be back again Sunday. I'm gonna try and fire up a Nadine, if you want a set, I'll send them to you. I got 2 sets to give away. I told them when they give them to me, I said I'm just going to give them away. So just send me your details and I'll send them to you. I'll send you a set. And you can share them with your family. They're Mitchiff cards. They're not Cree cards. Do you want Cree cards, Shanice? You got to make some. But I'll send you a set if you really want them. Yeah. Yes, and yeah, same time next week. So I'll try to be online next week. I'm trying to go from 6 to 8 Pacific. That's 7 to 9 Edmonton time. I don't actually know what time it is in Saskatchewan. But yeah, 6 o'clock Pacific on Sunday next week. And we'll go again. And we'll just wing it. We'll just figure out what we're going to work on next week. We might do some more of that âhkami-nêhiyawêtân because that was pretty good. Lots of vocab and then a little bit of a story. I think that's a good way to do it. It's 9 p.m. Central, so okay, so it's the same time in Saskatchewan as it is in Alberta right now. 9 p.m. So it's 8 p.m. on the coast right now. Okay, Xpitama. We'll see you next week. We're gonna end it there tonight. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Xpitama muestas. Okay.